Zero Sievert. Small, simple, and yet it has some depth you can sink your teeth into. But I gotta admit, this game annoys the hell out of me sometimes. You die very quickly, and sometimes it definitely feels like bullshit. But I keep going because the gunplay is great, the progression is pretty good, and I love conquering the danger here. Gameplay. This is an extraction game. That means you go into an active combat zone filled with predators, monsters, and overzealous Second Amendment users. You get whatever valuables you can and get out of there. How do you survive the dangers in these post-apocalyptic combat zones? Guns. You can carry 2 guns, but you have a lot of options to choose from. Various types of shotguns, pistols, assault rifles, snipers, and I guess these marksman rifles. Kinda like the middle ground between a sniper and an assault rifle. I usually run an assault rifle and a sniper, or an AR and a marksman rifle. It's a top-down perspective, but you can right-click to look further, and I think with some sniper scopes, you can look further than you usually can. The gunplay is good. I like the gun audio. It's pretty easy to aim, but there is some recoil and spread, but I rarely full auto, so I don't really notice the recoil or the spread. You and most other things die pretty quickly, so 3 shots quickly will usually take care of whatever enemy you're up against. Except Mr. Big. There is also a lot of attachments for the guns, which probably make your guns really good, but I only care about the silencer, since I don't like the idea of attracting all the monsters on the map to me. Then there's the ammo types, and look. Just from playing the game, I have no idea why you would choose one over the other. I just go for the one with a black dot on the tip, because it has the highest penetration. You can switch between ammo types on the go with Y and the scroll wheel. Guns use different bullet sizes, like my Batco MKM marksman rifle uses 7.62 x 39 and my CC Veil uses 9 x 39. Lots of ammo sizes for lots of guns. Then of course the armor, backpack and lighting tool. Armor protects you from damage, but it can also protect you from radiation. It's a post-apocalyptic setting, of course there is radiation. Bigger and better backpack and you can carry more stuff. Now the lighting tool is a flashlight or night vision goggles. Armor and guns have durability, which means they deteriorate. Low durability on armor means it protects you less. Low durability on guns means they jam, which means gun no longer go pew pew. So you have to spam left click to fix it. This can get you killed, so repair your gear regularly. The doctor can repair your armor and you can buy repair kits for guns. You also need to eat, drink and sleep. In the compound thing, if you see a bed, you can probably sleep in it. Even someone's private room. They're pretty mellow about it. You can fill your thirst and hunger at the barman or buy food to take with you. At the compound, you can also make your own base of operations with modules. You have limited space to work with, but at least half of the modules are pretty much useless. The must-haves are scavenger, because you get free items every day, storage, especially if you are a loot hoarder like me, ammo so you can craft lots of ammo for your guns which you really need, and the forge so you can craft items like repair kits. And that's part of the progression loop. You go get materials out in the world to craft the modules for your base and to upgrade the modules. But you also go into the world for the quests. The barman, doctor and general give you quests with pretty good rewards, and areas of the maps you go into can be locked behind quests. So they're worth doing, and they give you an added purpose and a goal when you venture into the zones. There are currently 5 zones: the forest, makeshift camp, which is kinda just forest 2.0, industrial zone, swamp, and the mall. Each one harder than the last. It gets easier because of the progression. There is a level up mechanic, but this doesn't actually improve your character. You should think of it as your reputation with the traders. Higher rep equals better items you can buy. For improvements to your character, you look at the skill tab. Fitness, dick in your mouth, improves your stamina bar. Style is how fast you loot. Shooting make you shoot good. Charisma makes you better at selling your junk. These all improve as you play, and at level 10 you can specialize for a greater benefit to your playstyle. For the bottom 3 skills you have to find skill books, either out in the zones or from quest rewards. And the bottom 3 are for crafting stuff, and that's all I feel like explaining. And obviously the biggest part of progression is buying better gear, so lots of angles to progress. So why do I like this? Shooting feels good, lots of guns to try, and I love conquering the danger in this game. You start off as a little bitch in the forest, spraying and praying at wolves and bringing scraps of meat back to the base. And you slowly get better. You start shooting bandits, you check every corner, you kill the enemy before they even knew you were there. You become the Ghost of Sakov. Sakov is what the game's country or whatever is called, by the way. Going to each map feels so different. Like in the swamp, you feel so exposed and you have to constantly look everywhere around you, because otherwise blink monsters might run you down, or you get gunned down by bandits or hunters. But you get used to that. But then you go to the mall, and it's tight, claustrophobic, and so many corners and hiding places an enemy might be lurking in. And what I really love about the swamp and the mall is Mr. Big. Hearing its roar makes the experience much more intense. The risk versus reward here is done so well, where even just looting feels very dangerous, because it blocks most of your screen, and getting good gear or resources means fighting more dangerous enemies. And no matter how well geared I am, I will die if I play it wrong. This game is great at giving me a thrill. The quests and modules for your base are also great goals I liked going for. I chose zones to go into because I had a quest there, or because there is a resource there I need for my base. The danger is great, and those deaths that feel like bullshit are very rare. I almost always feel like it's my fault that I died. The bullshit comes more from bugs, like enemies can be stuck in walls and they will still be able to hit you in the walls. But hey, that's what you get for playing a game in early access. Let's move on to the story in the game. Story. There probably is a story in this game, but you have to read. And reading is for dweebs, so I have no idea what the story is. So here is my most eventful story with the game. The general of the Green Army had commissioned me to gather supplies so they could clear out the village in the swamp. And once I had given him the supplies that mostly consisted of vodka, he asked that I would assist his soldiers in clearing out the swamp village. This would need to be done during the night. Going to the swamp at night sounded like a death sentence, but being able to freely enter the village was something I couldn't resist. So I ventured into the swamp in the dead of night with my night vision goggles. And unfortunately, for some reason in the recording, me looking through the night vision comes out extremely blurry. It's not actually like this in the game. But then I saw it. A beacon in the night. The soldiers were gathered in front of the entrance of the village with their flashlights on, waiting for me to turn the big lights on, which would be the start of the battle. It seemed to be an endless swarm of ghouls and an endless hail of bullets in response. But the swarm did end, and we won. After I killed all the ghouls with the soldiers, I went to an extraction point. And as I was very close to the extraction point, this happened. Fuck this stupid bitch-ass game, I said as I immediately went back to the swamp to do it again. And again go through the swamp with goggles, shoot some bandits, turn on lights, shoot some ghouls, win, and then a jolly stride to an extraction point. Back to base to get a pat on the back from the general and a new gun to add to my collection. There are many quests and some of them are as interesting as this, but the most interesting part to me is the randomness. Mr. Big just happened to be there and made for a far more interesting story. Conclusion. Extraction games can be pretty cool. The part that usually ruins them for me is the multiplayer aspect and the cheaters that come with that. I thought extraction games were exclusively for masochists and Twitch streamers with audiences that secretly hate them. Now that I've played Zero Sievert, a single-player extraction game, I think the concept is pretty cool. Zero Sievert is a fun game. It will probably piss you off at first, but once you get over that adjustment period, you will find a lot to enjoy here. I haven't played anything like it. Enemies in walls is really the only bug I can think of, and really the only thing to dislike in the early access is the fact that it needs more content, like maps and quests and working on the modules for your base a little bit, because like I said, half of them are pretty much useless. I recommend the game, and I give it a Zero Sievert Mr. Big out of Sex and the City, Mr. Big. Did you like that one? It's something in the video you can understand. Isn't it nice of me to include something my girlfriend might enjoy? Do you remember when you forced me to watch the Sex and the City movies? I do. I still haven't forgiven you. Subscribe, call me Uncle Bryan, and have an awesome day.